Here's my spoiler review for the Fantastic Four First Steps. If you haven't seen my non-spoiler review, I said I love the movie, and I'm just happy that Marvel's First Family is finally done right on the big screen. Skipping the origin story was the best option they could have done, because it just takes us right into the action, and we see this family already established as these big heroes. It was awesome. But I also like how the movie did like a montage in the beginning of the film to catch up new fans if they don't know who the Fantastic Four are. However, I don't know if you noticed, but a lot of scenes were actually cut in the final cut of the movie. Like when you go back and rewatch the trailers, there's a lot of scenes missing, including John Malkovich's Red Ghost. Apparently they cut a lot of scenes to make the movie flow better, which does suck, but it is what it is. I've noticed one of the critiques for this movie was the lack of action scenes, but the thing is, the Fantastic Four has never been about action anyway. They're always been more about the adventure and exploration up in space and the wonder and awe of it all, and the family dynamics and how they operate as a team. And they understood the assignment in those areas. They sacrificed some more action scenes for character development and space exploration, and I'm low-key fine with that. Speaking of space, that whole space sequence in the second act had me locked in. It was one of the greatest moments in the MCU. Like, dude, it had me at the edge of my seat. Introducing Galactus, that whole Silver Surfer chase scene, and the whole scene with the black hole, and showcasing how smart the Fantastic Four are. Like, dude, it was insane. The whole sequence reminded me of Interstellar. Like, dude, if we get a sequel to Fantastic Four, they need to do more space stuff. And Galactus shooting a labor ray into Sue's belly to have Franklin early was kinda crazy, but also very comic booky. Johnny Storm was the MVP of this movie. He literally deciphered an alien language and was willing to sacrifice himself twice. The Fox films failed to realize that Johnny Storm is actually smart and not just a hothead. Also, regarding Sue Storm pushing Galactus, the thing is, Galactus wasn't trying to fight, he was just trying to get Franklin and have him be his successor, and Sue Storm is actually pretty OP in the comics, so they power scaled her accurately. Plus, Sue literally died doing that. The only reason she's even alive is because her son Franklin is literally God and revived her. And Galactus isn't dead, all they did was just send him to the edge of the universe. But the thing is, he can actually survive in space, so he could eventually return. Paul Walter Hauser's Mole Man was great, even though we barely had him. The fact that we got a cameo with the 90s Fantastic Four cast is actually insane. Their movie never officially released, and now they're a part of the best movie, which is pretty poetic. I'll talk about the ending and the post-credits in the next video, but yeah, overall, I was very satisfied with this movie.